the things he's given to artistic expression that we have today, which is so important for our mental well being. A lot of policymakers these days can't really or aren't really putting the importance of what art has done for this world. So, what he has done for art and for everything that has come after him, it's important to all of us. It's important to us, our sanity. Without without art, we don't have that I guess release from reality. We don't have that mirror held up to us to show us what we're doing wrong at times, to show us what we're doing right at times. And he's played an integral part in what art is today. I played Macbeth as Macbeezy, which was a hip opera, so to speak, a Shakespearean hip opera. I played Banquo in Macbeth as well. I played Lysander in Midsummer Night's Dream, and all of those were completely different experiences. So to say my favorite is a bit difficult to say because I've enjoyed the enchantment of them all in their own way. You have to go places that, well, you do that with every Shakespearean character. You go places that you don't normally go, but that's in us. So, but Othello is one that I had to find such a balance between going overboard and not having enough. And it was a huge challenge for me when I did it in that respect. The awesome thing about doing it in this particular setting is VR is such a new technology, and I had a chance to experience it day before yesterday, a couple of days ago. I got to tell you, it's not just something that is amazing. It's something that I think is going to be life changing. One of the important things that we do as craftsmen, as artists, is we take things in the world and we reinterpret them in our own way, which is the craft part of it, and we create new things because of that. And I think being able to reinterpret how this particular scene we're going to shoot is done is going to open a whole lot of doors for what art is to kids today. Because as you can tell, technology is so important to this world these days. Right now, you're reading the questions from a cell phone. Right now, there are more people out there with cell phones than books. People read probably more today on a tablet than they do on pages. So technology's changed how we are as people, and I think VR is going to change how people view art because it's going to allow people to be there, to experience live theater without being there. When I looked at the technology, it was amazing how it transfers you into this other world, and I mean realistically, not just oh my God, this is awesome like 3D type realistically. I'm talking it feels like it's a very visceral experience. It's like you're there, and it's going to give us a chance to take that visceral experience that theater gives you to a much wider audience. It's going to give us a chance to expose people who may not understand or even like Shakespeare. It's going to give us a chance to give them that and give them a chance to understand and maybe hopefully better themselves, because when you're more creative in your own life, when you have art in your heart and mind, you you are a better person. There is a chemical formula that the person who founded the shape of the chemical could not figure out how it was done. He couldn't figure out what shape it would take. I believe it was methane. And then one day he fell asleep on whatever public transportation he had at the time, and he dreamt. The right side of his brain showed him that shape of what I believe methane is, and that's why I think this venue that we're doing is going to be so important for this world. It's going to transform everything that we are, I think. When I say VR, virtual reality, it really is more of a reality. Uh, Having heard about virtual reality years ago, it's not like this is brand new. I before I experienced it, I thought that it would just be what 3D is to us today, where it would be like, oh, it looks like it's coming at you, or it looks like you could step into that window. Virtual reality really feels like reality because you get sensations. There's one part of a demo that I got to experience a couple of days ago, where you're within the world of whatever this virtual reality mode was, and the walls started closing in, and it wasn't that I saw the walls closing in. My heart rate increased. So it's a very, very, very textural, I would say, if that be a word, textural feeling. You feel these things. Temperature fluctuations in the air make you feel like you're experiencing some of the things. So we're bringing a real world to people, and I think bringing something as important, something that has as much weight as Shakespeare is going to be fantastic for us all, especially for children growing up. The first one that comes to mind is Save the Last Dance with Sean Patrick Thomas and Julia Stiles. In fact, I think there are multiple influences from Shakespeare in that movie, from Othello to Romeo and Juliet. So, yeah, his influences are all over the place. Drama and literature they give a foundation to everything else that a lot of policymakers think are more important, which without drama and literature wouldn't flourish. I think everything from math to the sciences especially are very, very important because drama and literature teaches us how to convey what math and science is to other people. Important writers like Keats, I believe. Keats wouldn't write unless he had a statue of Shakespeare next to him. Sorry, a bust of Shakespeare next to him. He wouldn't. He was that influenced by Shakespeare, and there are several other. There are people that are influenced by Shakespeare that don't realize they are. The people that don't like him, I would venture a guess that it's probably because they don't understand him. And once they understand those words, that musicality of his words and what those words mean, and they learn to read between his lines, I think they'll find that he touches on a lot of what we all go through. From Hamlet to Macbeth, we all still have that particular humanity in us throughout the world. For instance, Romeo and Juliet. I think I read long ago when I was in school that it doesn't just teach us about the importance of love and how strong love can be, but it even gave a mirror to society about teen suicides. There were a lot of people, a lot of teens. I remember back when I was studying that in school that understood what they were going through even more so, and it helped them deal with their problems and their depression in wanting to commit suicide. I studied Shakespeare even before I understood it, but there was that one, if you just find that one moment when it clicks, because when it clicks, it opens up this entire beautiful, enchanting world, and I think it'll change the way you think. It's a challenge, doing things you wouldn't normally do in your life, but we all know that capacity is within us, which is what Shakespeare is so brilliant at doing, exhibiting those things within us that we might not be able to touch, but he allows us to see them in other humans. That's what I dig about it.
Yeah, I like that last. I get excited about asking new questions.
Can you only edit the more intelligent things and make me look like I know what I'm talking about?
No.